And what we've done with the rider is also designed a model how to learn even more from each training session. And the model is the splitting the full training session into the parts. So what we can say now that you may decided to do not record the full training session end to end, but do it in the parts. Uh, and there are different scenarios how you can make it, but generally principle is the following. Instead of 50 minutes training session, you can think, okay, let's split it into warming up part, then part exercises one, where you integrate very specific exercises you decided which are there for now, and save it different, like warming up started, then after time of warming up ended, you can save the ride, stop it, let it saved, and then start a new one with the same horse and the same time and the same day. Then record part of exercises you would like to review separately, and then again save the ride. And they do it as much as you need. But remember, if your training session is shorter than 3 minutes, then symmetry metrics may not be provided because it depends on the algorithm and depends on the horse ability to move. So for inconsistent movements and very short session, symmetry may not be calculated. So that's why we recommend to design the training parts in this case not shorter than 3 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes is enough to learn about exercises you've done during this frame. And remember, each frame better to have both left and right movements only, equally in time, because then, reigns, left and right reign, because then the picture is rightly balanced. You can see charts which united those movements. You may decide to split even further and say, okay, let's record separately left, right movements on the left rein and the movements on the right rein. But then comparing those movements, comparing those charts, remember and be mindful, because those include natural asymmetry of those movements. If you do exercises which are moving on the smaller, shorter circles, it would having extra asymmetry included because it's needed to move the body in of the circle. And the level of the asymmetry, natural part, will be visible. You can learn, by the way, if you would like to try this. But general principle is here. One exercise, left and right, reigned, equally balanced in time, working and saved. Then you would say you have a picture for the exercise, and you can learn how this exercise is performed in terms of the symmetry metrics by this horse. And the final part is cooling down. So we also recommend to have this part recorded separately, because then you can see the shape of horse capability of movements at the end. And this for you a guiding metrics to evaluate the impulsion, the consistency of the rhythm, because you will see how it's changed compared to warming up and the medium part of the training. And benchmarking them, you will be saying, okay, if horse is able to keep all of those part of training in one day and keep performing good level of impulsion and keeping good level of consistency of the rhythm or not. If not, too much within the training session. If yes, good time, good well-developed fitness for the horse for this amount of effort, for this amount of workload you're putting on the horse. So this for you a kind of measuring indication, and you can compare cooling with warming up. And this would be the guidings. And between those would be the parts of exercises. Because warming and cooling should be done equally in terms of the way how horse is moving. It just working walk or working trot, and even could be a normal canter. Relaxed, well, rhythmical, without any special duty on the horse to make them comparable. And then you will see how horse changed over this day of training. So, and the medium parts, better to have one exercise within, because then you can clearly say this exercise horse is able to do and or not, based on metrics you're measuring. If those exercises in the canter or in the walk, Then you cannot use symmetry charts, but you will be learning from the impulsion charts and rhythm consistency charts for those exercises. They also can tell you a lot about the specific exercise you did for this training. That's it. Let me pause here because I think this very complicated model, and maybe you have questions to ask. Please go ahead if you have it. Ladies, any question to clarify if you want? Okay, good. I hope you're still live. We almost done. I know it's tough, but we are closing to the end soon. I know it's maybe overwhelming because of too many charts, graphs, and words. But you decided to take a part. Okay, no questions. I hope it doesn't mean nothing understood. Okay, so this model you can use. We definitely we tried out and it's helped us learn a lot. And with this Conversana horse, it helped us to guide what exercises to add and when to move forward with specific exercises.